Welcome! You're watching the thrift store rundown where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. Did you know that National Comfort Food Day falls on December 15th? But you know, whether in the snow or under the sun, there should always be room in our stomachs and space in our souls for some soul-warming comfort food. Especially if you, like so many others, endured the ordeal that was 2020. COVID, anyone? I hope that you don't identify with the particularly tragic bereavement of Chrissy Teigen, who during that year lost her unborn son, Jack, to whom this book is dedicated to. In the midst of her grieving, her legions of social media fans sent out distress signals, a resounding call to action for them to be inspired to get one with their kitchen again and saute the pain away. You wouldn't know how cathartic and therapeutic cooking can be if you don't try it. And I hope you never learn that under particularly tragic circumstances like Chrissy's or anyone else's. Even yours. But you know, if this book doesn't answer that call nobly well, there might be other ones out there. I mean, she certainly hasn't cornered the market on this. But I like to think that she bravely answered the call. For $4.99, I picked up the third installment in her Cravings cookbook trilogy, All Together, Recipes to Love. This, like the other two Cravings books that came before it, is a Clarkson Potter publication, which retails for $29.99 in the US and $10 more in Canada. This particular copy was picked up at a TJ Maxx, originally priced at $24, discounted from $29.99, and even more discounted at $16.99. Food to bring you joy and comfort, which is the aim of this book. A noble effort. Let's see if it can deliver. Now, I had a hard time trying to pinpoint which recipes would be equally crave-worthy and buzz-worthy, because oftentimes those sentiments aren't one and the same. So hopefully the few highlights I'm going to feature in this video will suffice. We begin with 2 berry muffins with an HBO crumble for breakfast. Up until I saw how to make the HBO crumble, I immediately thought about this. So just by the name alone, HBO crumble, I'm of the impression that this would make a great breakfast or brunch item for an HBO Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon viewing party. Whether you're streaming classics like Entourage, or The Sopranos, or newcomers, The White Lotus, and Euphoria, both of which garnering a significant amount of Emmy nominations. The HBO in here standing for Honey Bunches of Oats. And now to a few contributions from Chrissy's Academy Award, Emmy, and Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter husband, John Legend. First up, his quesadillas. And why quesadillas? Well, triple the quesadilla goodness. Buttery, crispy, savory, and of course, very cheesy. So we have here 3 fillings to work with and a dip to serve alongside. First, a smoky spinach, mushroom, and cheddar filling. That's one with chorizo and pepper jack. Significant in naming because, well, Chrissy's mom is Pepper Ty, and of course Jack is the name of her stillborn son. Bittersweet on both counts. And finally, a smoky chicken, bell pepper, and Swiss filling with an avocado ranch dip. Up next, his Pan-Caribbean oxtail stew. Have a look at some of the lyrics from the song, which would fit this quite well. Our love's worth waiting for. Just let it stew some more. Bring out each flavor and the spice. I can't help that I'm a slow cooker. Hey, instead of me dramatically reciting the lyrics or getting a content ID claim and a possible strike for including his song in here, I don't push the envelope that much. Okay, I really love slow cooking. I even wrote a song about it and included it on my album, Bigger Love. The song is also about sex, but let's not change the subject. Hey, if the risk is worth the reward, rip this up, and I bet you it's gonna be a labor of love, which could lead to other labors. If not, maybe this anniversary paella, ripped up on September 14th for an anniversary spent in the hospital because of Chrissy going into labor soon, would suffice just the same. Of course, a beautiful meal won't solve all your problems, but it's a good way to show someone you love them. Make this paella for someone you love. And if that doesn't get ya, then maybe it's time we head to the seas for some inspiration. Maybe whipping up this date night cod and spicy tomato butter sauce, this is Chrissy's recipe by the way, should go along swimmingly well. This definitely would satiate a date night in quite well. And we have here a photo on the left, and Chrissy and John relishing the fruits of their labor on the right. Hey, a romantic meal for two inside? Come on, you gotta put in the effort. And if you do, you're gonna be a legend! Maybe not like John Legend, but hey, he lucked out, so good luck on that. And now for dessert. Incredibly easy, adorable mini zebra cakes. This I picked out just for nostalgic purposes. Remember that TV show, Zoom? It was sort of a kids show for the NSYNC generation. Anyway, they had this short cooking segment when kids would teach kids, me at the time, how to make something small, tasty, and here's where Chrissy's relatable personality really shines. Cute AF. Yes, cute and fabulous. Cute and funny. Cute and, well, you fill in the F. Preferably one that doesn't include, 4 letters in the word. And yes, I do remember the show Zoom all too well now. If you haven't seen TSR's Salute to Zoom, the 1999 reboot for our Christmas 2020 special, where we definitely needed a lot of joy and comfort in our stomachs and our hearts more than ever before, link is below to check that out. With these zebra cakes, I doubt anyone wouldn't want to zoom straight to the table to devour these in short order. Now, before we talk about the recipes themselves further, let's discuss the introduction of this book. Now, in Cravings Hungry for More and the original Cravings, when it came to acknowledgement of the fans, well, Chrissy had a lot left to be desired. But under these tragic circumstances, I can say she's seen the light. So many of you stood by us during that time. I cannot thank you enough. Finally, she's seen the light! I wish it was under lighter circumstances, but that's life for you. Sometimes it leaves a rotten aftertaste, which hopefully this book can brilliantly counteract. Now, as far as the recipe structure goes, they're divided into the routine breakfast, and brunch in this case, appetizers, starters, entrees, desserts chapters, including some veggie-centric suppers, and Instagram-worthy desserts. To Chrissy's credit, a good amount of these recipes, well nearly all of them, require no more than a trip to a big-name market to acquire the recipes to make them. And the procedures are pretty straightforward as well. The catchy names, and of course the enticing food photography definitely all help Chrissy's cause. In addition to the photography of Chrissy, her husband John, and their 2 children Luna and Miles in here as well. With regard to Chrissy alone, well, to say that she brought her A game when it came to sex appeal is putting it mildly, and I'm not a fan of hers per se. Luna and Miles up the adorable factor in here, and John, well, he's just John. And if you're asking, yes, this review does come on the heels of Chrissy and John announcing the birth of their soon-to-be rainbow baby, and John's studio album in the works that he's gonna give birth to, entitled Legend. Simply and aptly put. And as for John getting acknowledgement himself, and yes, this is my favorite picture of Chrissy in the book. Don't ask. I'll give you 2 reasons why. Hey, I'm a guy, I'm sorry. Look at this. My soulmate, my partner for life, together until the absolute end. I pray I go first. I cannot live without you. My absolute everything. Well, given the immeasurable support that John provided for Chrissy over the many years that they've been married, especially in 2020, at a time of such great sadness, I think he deserves that very special shout-out. But again, acknowledgement of the fans is also paramount if you consistently tell them how much they impact your work through their rave comments about your cooking. So, I think on that front, she's definitely making a little bit of progress. One more note about the recipes. Each of them give you how many servings they'll make, and active and total cooking time and preparation time in all. So with that, I'd say congratulations would be too strong a word given your social media past. We don't congratulate bad behavior, especially cyberbullying. Oh, and by the way, some of the stories in the recipes in here feature Chrissy's fiercely relatable personality, keyword being fierce. 4.5 out of 5 flaps will do just fine, and I wish you and John and the kids well on the birth of your rainbow baby. I think it's only fitting that on December 15th, we go back to the beginning with the first original Cravings book. Unless I hear any more social media pitfalls from Chrissy Teigen, in that case, that book will be discarded. But until that point, that's that. Cravings all together. Chrissy Teigen's recipes to love. In terms of being a social media maven, you still got some work to do. In terms of acknowledgement of the fans, for this book, you're making progress. In terms of being a wife, mom, and amateur chef, well, don't change a thing, Chrissy. You got that all together. Thanks for watching TSR. Now, to see another awesome review like this one, click here. If you want to become a Hollywood bargain hunter, click here to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the thrift side.